Okay, hi everyone. So welcome back to another Facebook Live class. Happy Monday. I hope you're having a great day so far. So today we are going to be doing yoga for back pain. So when I say back pain, I mean like general aches and pains. If you have a more serious back injury, like a herniated disc or something like that, you would probably require something a little bit different. But yeah, today's class really is just to loosen out tight backs, especially with us sitting down a lot more at the moment. Our backs are going to get quite tight. We're also going to focus on stretching into the hips, so tight hips can contribute to a sore back. Tight hip flexors as well can destabilize the pelvis, which will lead to lower back problems. And we'll be doing some work with the QLs. So the QLs are deep core muscles, but they're located either side of the lumbar spine in the back. So we're gonna stretch that area out as well. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. A couple of things you might need. You might want to have a yoga strap nearby, or a dressing gown cord, a belt, or a towel, just something like that, because we will be doing some lying hip postures which require us to take the back of our thigh. And if you can't do that comfortably, then a strap is going to be very handy. But I think that's about it. We're going to take the pace down as well, so it's going to be quite a gentle class. I'm going to be focusing on some gentle twists, like I said, hip openers, downward dogs, and a couple of side stretches. So a good class if you are a beginner to yoga as well. Going to be doing a lot of like foundation postures. I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes to see who arrives, but like always, this class is going to be available on my Facebook page for the whole week, so you can come back to it at any time if you can't follow along right this second. All right, and feel like I should say hi. As always, if anything hurts, you need to back off. We're going to be focusing on mindful movement. If you have got a sore back, then you always want to avoid sharp or shooting pain. So while some of the postures today are going to be deep stretches, which might feel quite sensational, you might feel like a deep stretch or even like a burny sensation, we never want to feel like sharp shooting pain. A good sign you need to back off if you experience that. All right. Okay, and we will also be doing some gentle back bends today as well, just some very gentle back bends from our stomach. So back bends are a great way to start strengthening the muscles in the back. And if you have a weak back, again, it might end up hurting that area. So we do need to work some postures that are going to strengthen the muscles in the back as well. I think that's it. So if you've just joined, things you might need: a yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, dressing gown cord, belt, towel, something like that, if you know your hips are super tight. Right, so I think we are just going to begin. So we're actually going to begin with a couple of really gentle lying postures. So if you want to come down onto your backs on your yoga mat, I'll meet you there. So what we're going to do is we're going to lie down on the mat. We're going to bring the soles of our feet together, and we're going to let the knees fall out sideways. So we're coming into a posture called recline. Okay, this is a really great lying posture for your hips, your groin. You can place the hands on the belly, you can place the hands either side of the body, palms up, or you can gently rest your hands on the inner thighs. It depends what you feel is the most comfortable. But if the hands are on the inner thighs, just make sure you're not pressing the thighs down. It's just adding a bit of extra weight. Okay, and then close your eyes, and then we're going to bring the attention into the room. We start every yoga class like this. So practicing yoga at home can be tricky, especially if there's pets around or kids around, other family members. But this is a great opportunity to start to focus on the internal dimensions of the practice. So we're trying to basically withdraw the senses inward, focusing on the breath, focusing on the sensations in the body. And over time, this gets a bit easier. You're able to tune out any external noise. So if you find yourself getting a bit distracted throughout this, don't worry, just roll with it. It's part of the practice. And then just start to slow the breath. So inhales and exhales through the nose equal in length, and finding a slow rhythm that is sustainable to you. So at no point do we ever want to feel like we're running out of breath. Finding a rhythm that we can maintain throughout the practice. And always prioritising the breath over the posture. So if you can't breathe, it's a good sign you've gone a little bit too far. And then take your attention around the body, notice how you feel. So this is yoga for back pain, so maybe you're here because your back is a little bit sensitive. So we want to be mindful of the sensations as we move through the practice. Like I said, any sharp or shooting pain, you need to back off. Always best to start gently and then see if you can deepen the posture from there, rather than throw yourself into the deepest expression of a posture straight away. So we're using our common sense basically. And back pain, it can be due to anything. QLs, hips, could be a weak core. But today we're going to focus mainly on hips, gentle twists, some back strengthening back bends. All the kind of postures that are good to alleviate the general aches and pains. Okay, lovely. And then from here, as you inhale, very slowly bring your knees together. So now using the strength of the inner groin, the adductor muscles, and then just hug your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. So we're keeping the back of the head on the floor. The hands are around the knees or the shins, and we're just making circles here, releasing any tension that might have built up in the lower back. Squeezing the thighs in towards the belly as much as possible. Okay, and then take both feet to the floor. So we're going to start with a couple of lying twists. Really great posture for your back. So take your arms out wide, palms down. I only have room one side, but you're making a T position with your hands. We're going to leave the feet on the floor to begin with, legs together, heels up towards the bum. Inhale here, then as you exhale, just let the knees fall over towards the right. And then turn and look over the left shoulder. So passive lying twist. There is nothing to do here apart from keep that left shoulder grounded. That's where the stretch starts from. And keep the breath steady. So the legs are falling as far as they want to fall. There's no forcing them to the floor. And the legs can fall apart if they don't want to stay together. We're not engaging any muscles. We're letting gravity do the work. And then as you inhale, legs back to center, and then on the exhale, just let them fall over very lazily to the left-hand side. And then turn your head and look over your right shoulder, keep that right shoulder down. So places you could feel this posture, you could feel it in your lower back, you might feel it in the top right hip this time, so the top of the right leg. You may feel it in your groin, obliques. Just noticing where the resistance is coming from and noticing the differences between each side as well. Okay, and then as you inhale, back to center, alright? So you're going to repeat that posture with the feet down. If you want a deeper twist, you're going to pick the feet up off the floor a few inches. Take it easy, inhale here, then as you exhale, legs to the right again. So if you've picked the feet up off the floor, just a slightly deeper twist. Turn and look over your left shoulder. Keep that left shoulder down. And then you do have the option of bringing the right hand to the top left hip to try and ease that hip over, if that's appropriate for your body. So again, we're not pulling the hips over. This is just a gentle bit of weight, gentle pressure. A few more breaths here. Again, noticing where you might feel resistance. Okay, and then if your hand is on the leg, remove it. Inhale back to center, and then as you exhale, legs over to the left. Turning and looking over the right shoulder. And then you have the option of bringing the left hand to the top right hip to just ease the hips over if you want a slightly deeper twist. Nice, slow, steady breaths up into the chest. And relaxing all muscles, so not engaging anything. Okay, and then inhale back to center, lovely. We're going to take both feet down the mat, point the toes, arms overhead, cat stretch. So make yourself as long as you possibly can. Really point the toes and lift the arms. You're going to feel that stretch come into the back, tops of the legs, shoulders. And then exhale again, hug your knees into your chest, rock from side to side. Keep the back of the head on the floor as you do this. So waking up the body bit by bit. Okay, and from here, take your feet to the floor. And we're going to start to work into the hip. So this is where you might want to have the strap or the dressing gown cord or the belt or whatever. We're going to leave the left foot on the floor, left knee bent, and then we're going to cross the right foot over the left thigh. Okay? To begin with, we're going to put the left hand on the floor by the side of the body. The right hand is going to come right to the top of the right leg near the groin. Inhale here, then exhale, just gently push the right leg away. Okay, so we have the left knee bent, left foot's on the floor. The right foot is crossed over the left thigh. The left hand is just to the side of the body, and the right hand is at the top of the right groin, pushing the leg away. You can always look at me if you get a bit confused. So this is probably one of the gentlest ways we can work into the right hip. You want to be mindful of that right knee. So keeping both feet flexed, both toes pulling back is going to help that knee. And then try and avoid leaning over to the right. So we want the core to be working just a little bit to keep the body central. So we're not leaning in this posture. Nice, slow, deep breaths. You might be able to come up onto right fingertips if that enough. Or this might feel really gnarly and you might just want to relax the posture a little bit. All depends on your body. Now, if this is where you're at, if this is your limit, you're going to stay here. If you feel like you need a deeper stretch, you're going to take the right hand away from the leg, pick the left foot up off the floor, and then interlace your hands around the back of the left thigh. And this is where you might want to use the strap or the dressing gown cord. Instead of having the hands around the back of the thigh, you might want to place that around the back of the thigh instead. Alright, so nice, slow, steady breaths. Let's set the posture up. So the shoulders are drawing down, pressing down into the mat. The base of the spine is down as well. So we don't want to pick the base of the spine up because then we lose that stretch in the right hip. Both feet are active. And then we're gently, if the body allows, easing the left thigh back towards the stomach. You are going to feel a big old stretch in your right butt cheek, your right glute. Also opening up into the right hip. Just such a simple posture, but incredibly effective. If you have a little look at the angle of your right shin, it's a pretty good indicator of how open that hip is. So if the knee is very close to the face, it's a sign that your hip's a little bit tight. But if the shin starts to become a bit more parallel, it shows that you've got that rotation in the right hip. So we're not judging, just keeping note of where we are on what day. Nice, slow, steady breaths. Now, provided your right knee's okay, you can exaggerate this stretch by gently, very subtle movement, drawing your right knee down the mat as you ease the left thigh back. You can even press into that inner right thigh with the right elbow if the elbow's made contact. Okay, a few more deep breaths here, doing really well. Remember, you can always lower the left foot if this gets a bit too much. Okay, amazing. So you're more than welcome to stay here, or on your next inhale, we're going to extend the left leg up towards the ceiling. So now we're going to bring the hamstring into it as well. And then work the left toes back, drive up through that left heel. Still keeping the base of the spine on the floor and still maybe using the hands to see if we can draw left leg back. So a couple things going on now. Left calf, hamstring, right hip, right glute. But keep the breath steady, keep the shoulders rolling back. So if the back of the head has come off the floor, you might want to relax the posture a little bit. The upper body is relaxed. Okay, amazing. Now just bend that left knee, bringing it back down. We're going to take this posture into a twist. So put the left foot on the floor, and then from here we're going to cross the right knee over the left. So the right knee is stacked right on top of the left knee. Take your arms out wide, palms down again. Scoot your bum over towards the right a few inches. Big inhale here, then as you exhale, let the knees fall over towards the left. So another lion twist. If your neck's okay, you're going to turn and look over that right shoulder. So this is probably one of the deeper twists we do, as well as working into the lower back. You may feel this pull into your right glute as well. But just like the other lion twists, we don't want to be engaging any muscles. The legs are very floppy, the breath is steady. Only effort is to keep that right shoulder down. And then as you inhale, very slowly come back to center. Uncross your legs, square your hips up and give your bent legs a shake. Amazing, let's change sides. And just notice if one hip feels a lot different to the other, because it usually does. So we're going to leave the right leg bent, right foot on the floor, and we're going to cross the left foot over the right thigh. And to begin with, we're going to come into that very gentle version. We're going to have the right hand to the side of the body. The left hand is going to come to the top of the left groin area. Inhale, then as you exhale, just gently push the left thigh down the mat. And you might start to feel some sensation at the very sort of like top of your left leg, left hip. Keeping the left toes active to help keep that knee joint a bit sturdier. And then avoid leaning over to the left. So try and keep the body central. So a little bit of effort in the core here. Okay, and this might be where you want to stay. Absolutely fine if you want to stay here, if you're on your edge. Otherwise, we're going to take it a little bit deeper by releasing the hand, picking the right foot off the mat, and then interlacing the hands or using your prop around the back of the right thigh. Inhale here, then exhale, easing right thigh back towards the belly without the base of the spine lifting. Feet active, back of the head and shoulders pressing down into the ground. So here, you might notice that one side's a bit tighter. For example, this side is a lot tighter for me, massively so. So we're noticing these things so we can build a better body awareness, and this is really important if you get a sore back, because the way you carry yourself is important, your posture is important. So if we can start to notice which sides are different, tighter, stronger, we can start to correct our posture and stuff like that in our everyday lives. Okay, nice, slow, steady breaths. Always being mindful of that left knee, feeling that big stretch in your left glute, opening up into the left hip. And as long as your left knee's okay, potentially exaggerating this stretch by subtly drawing your left knee down the mat. Maybe using the elbow on the inner thigh if you're connecting there. And at the same time, easing the right thigh back. Okay, lovely. And then as you inhale, your choice, right leg up towards ceiling, right toes pull back, little hamstring stretch. So working the right heel up towards the ceiling. Still trying to keep the shoulders broad, shoulders roll down. So if you notice you're getting tense in the upper body, maybe relax the posture. Okay, and then exhale, just bend that right knee. Going to take it into that twist, so now bring the right foot to the floor. Scoot your left knee over your right knee, so they're stacked, and then move your butt over towards the left ever so slightly. Arms out wide, palms down, big inhale here. And then as you exhale, leisurely let your legs fall over towards the right, and then turn and look over the left shoulder. Keep that left shoulder grounded. Okay, and then inhale, slowly back up, uncross the legs, square your hips up, take another cat stretch, point the toes, arms overhead, lengthen, and then exhale, hug your knees into your chest, rock from side to side and make circles. That's a nice way to start, isn't it? It's always nice to start with those lion twists. Great ways to open up into the body. But we're ready to come up to seated now, so as you inhale, rock up, and make your way into all fours. So we're going to be moving through some cat-cows and some hip openers now. So from all fours, fingers spread underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips. With cat-cows, as you inhale, lift the hips, lift the chest, look forward, little back bend, take it easy. And then exhale, round the back. So tuck the hips under, push into the hands, chin to chest. Your inhale lifts the hips, lifts the chest, look forward. And then your exhale rounds, and the more you push into the hands, the deeper that stretch in the shoulders and the upper back. So use your own breath, making the movement slow and controlled. And if you do get tight back, this is a really good way to just bring some mobility into that area. Exaggerating the movements as much as possible. Okay, take a couple more rounds of this. And then at the end of your next exhale, come to a flat back. So from all fours this time, we're going to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. So the right knee is going to be over that ankle and the left knee is going to stay underneath the hip. As you inhale, look forward, lengthen. And then as you exhale, turn in the waist, raise the right hand, look up. So we're coming into a little all four twist. So we want the hips to be facing forward, so the hips haven't twisted. All this rotation coming from the thoracic spine. Reaching the right arm up, opening across the chest. And the more you try and reach those fingertips up, the lighter the left hand will be on the floor. So as well as working into the back, you should start to hopefully feel something in the top right leg. So this is opening up into that right hip. If you can't see your right fingertips, bring the hand forward. We don't want to hyperextend in that shoulder. Couple more breaths here, doing really well. And then as you exhale, right hand comes down. Inhale, look forward, lengthen. And then exhale, turn in the waist, left hand's going to come up this time. Reaching left fingertips up, just make sure your hips haven't twisted. And the right hand eventually light on the floor. So there's a bit of a different feel to this posture. You're going to feel it come into the right groin, inside of the right thigh. But just keep the breath steady. And then exhale, bring that hand down. Okay, we're going to stay in this position here. What I want you to do from here is turn your right toes out about 90 degrees. So now the right foot is facing sideways. Be careful of that right knee and then press the right foot down into the floor. Already you might start to feel this opening in your right hip. So quite an intense posture. So just keep breathing, pressing down through the right toes and the right heel. And if you're at your limit, you're going to stay here. Otherwise, you can inhale and exhale, bend the elbows, sink a bit deeper, maybe even come down onto forearms if your hip allows, but don't force it. Wherever you are, slow, steady breaths. And just keep grounding through that right foot and feel that opening in the hip. Okay, and then if you're on forearms, straight arms, everyone just turn their toes back to face the front and then step back into all fours. Amazing job. We'll do the other side, so fingers spread underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and then as you inhale, left foot to the outside of the left hand. Coming into that twist, so as you inhale, look forward, lengthen, and then exhale, turning the waist, left hand comes up. Reaching the fingertips up, right hand light on the floor, and just, you can even check if your hips are where they're supposed to be by placing the left hand on the small of the back. It just helps you see if your hips are facing forward rather than twisting. Feeling that sensation in the top of the left leg. Opening the chest up towards the left as much as possible. Deep, steady breaths. And then exhale, bring that hand down. Lovely, other side. Inhale, look forward, lengthen. Then exhale, turning the waist, right hand comes up. Woo! A little bit trickier this side, so you're going to feel that stretch now, left groin. So this is my tight side, so I'm feeling a lot of resistance. So just notice what's going on with the body. Notice if the breath is becoming a little bit fast. But keep those fingertips reaching. And then exhale, bring that hand down. Lovely. So coming into that little hip opener, I want you to turn your left toes out 90 degrees or 45, but try and get 90. And then ground down through the left foot. Okay, so the left foot's now at an angle and we're grounding through the heels and the toes. So it looks a bit like this. Already feeling that deep stretch come into the top of the left hip. And if you're on your limit, you stay here. Otherwise, you can bend those elbows, come down onto the forearms. Just be careful of the left knee. Couple more breaths here. Notice where your tensing. If your jaws, your shoulders are tense, relax it, just let it go. Okay, then from here, straight arms. Turn the toes back to face the front of the mat, step back into all fours, and we're going to come into child's pose. So feet together, knees as bum down towards the heels. Try and get the bum quite close to the heels if possible to feel the stretch in the lower back. And then from here, fingertips forward, forehead melts, and you're just having a little rest. And then inhale, make your way up into all fours. All right, so I did warn you at the beginning, we are going to be doing some back bends. We're going to do 2 little back bends now, Sphinx and Cobra. And the reason we're doing this is because they're great at strengthening the back. As you move through your back bend, you're contracting all these muscles supporting the spine. They need to be contracted so eventually they strengthen, just like any other muscle. I don't know why I've done that. Just like any other muscle, my bicep, my non-existent bicep. So we're going to do these back bends now, but if you do have a really sore back, you can just sit them out, or you can just move through them gently. You don't have to go full throttle. So everyone come onto their bellies. And we'll start with Sphinx pose. So feet hip width apart and parallel, tops of the feet on the floor, and then just place your forearms out in front of you. Elbows underneath shoulders, palms flat. So this is your starting position. And this is a back bend, you know. We're not activating anything right now, so if your back is a bit sensitive, you might just want to stay in this very passive version, okay? It's a restorative back bend. Otherwise, we are going to now make this posture active. So notice how it feels now in the passive version, and if you're going to make it active, let's get on with it. So press into the tops of the feet to lift the knees. Number 1. Tuck your pubic bone into the mat so the legs are strong. Press into the forearms. Notice that lift there. Press into the forearms to lift the chest. Draw your shoulder blades back and down. And then energetically, we're pulling our chest through our arms. So if you could move, you would slide right through the arms. So there's some resistance there in the forearms. Hold it here. Deep breaths. So hopefully starting to feel this contraction running up the spine. Hold it here. Slow, steady breaths. Look forward. So press into the tops of the feet. Lift the knees. Tuck the pubic bone into the mat. Shoulders back and down. Press into the forearms. Lift the chest. Pull your chest through your arms. We'll hold it here for 1, 2, 3, 4, don't lose that tension, and 5, relax the posture. Alright, so you can just make a pillow with your hands and put your forehead on the mat. So Sphinx, very good supported back bend. Great to start strengthening those muscles. I know you will hate it, but I'm sure you've done amazingly. You might have noticed your heart rate has started to speed up, so back bends are very good at speeding up your heart rate. So just find that rhythm to the breath. Okay, and then come back up onto your bellies. So this time we are either going to repeat Sphinx, or you can do the passive version if your back's playing up a lot, or we're going to have a go at Cobra. Now Cobra, we're going to straighten the arms. At some stage with Cobra, if you just watch me for a second, your shoulders are going to come forward like this. We don't want that. As you straighten the arms, see all the time if you can pull the shoulders back and down. We only want to come up if we can get away from doing that. As soon as the shoulders rise, lower the body, see if you can squeeze them back. Okay, so don't straighten the arms at the expense of the shoulders collapsing forward. So either coming back into Sphinx if that's what you're working with, or we'll have a go at Cobra. So come onto your bellies, forearms down, and you stay here if that's what you're working with. Otherwise, we're going to move the elbows back ever so slightly towards the ribs. So feet hip width apart. Press into the tops of the feet to lift the knees, tuck the pubic bone into the mat. Shoulders back, chest lifts. Now as you inhale from here, you can start to straighten the arms, but only if the shoulders can keep rolling back and down the spine. Chest lifts. Hold it here, look forward, feel the strength in the back. We'll hold it here for 5, 4, keep the shoulders back and down, press into the tops of the feet. 3, don't know what I'm doing now. 2, keep breathing. And 1, relax the posture. Okay, amazing. Here, very slowly, just make your way back into child's pose. Feet together. Knees as wide as the mat. So we were just contracting the muscles in the back, and now we're stretching them out of child's pose. So taking a couple of breaths here, waiting for the breath to come back to normal. Okay, and then as you inhale, make your way up into all fours. Coming into downward dog now. So downward dog, very good way to stretch into the back. So fingers spread underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're going to tuck our toes, and we're going to send our hips up and back. And then just set the hands up, set the feet up. We want the feet hip width apart and parallel, the hands roughly shoulder width apart. Bend the knees as much as you need to. You do not have to have the heels on the floor. And just let the head relax, so the head gently tucks back between the arms. It's up to you what you do here. So some people might want to keep it still, others might want to pedal those heels out. Whatever feels good. But if you are pedaling the heels, I want you to keep that movement slow, just like cat-cow. Use your breath to guide the movement. So we're not in a rush here. Eventually, over time, trying to get the weight into the legs so we're not feeling like we're going to break our wrists. So downward dog can feel a little bit risky to begin with. And you can sort of help that sort of pain by pressing down into the fingers and the palms, spreading the weight on the hands, which means if there's a gap underneath your hands, press it down. Okay, taking a few more moments here. Maybe tilt your hip back, press your hip back as you draw your heel down. If you're staying quite static, maybe tilt your bum up towards the ceiling, see if you can push back any more. Nice, slow, steady breaths. Okay, and then from here, as you inhale, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. The left foot to the outside of the left. Sink your bum down because we're coming down into a squat. Yes, we are. So, little squat, good back posture. Now, if your hips are tight, you might be like, what the hell, not happening. You might be up here. That's okay. You don't have to have the heels down. You can come up onto the balls of the feet and have the hands on the floor for support. All right, so this is a very valid option right here. If you can sink the hips down, get the heels down. Unless you're using the hands for balance, we're going to take the hands into prayer. All right, so the feet turn out sideways. Press the knees into the arms into the knees to help open the hips and the groin. Nice, slow, steady breaths. Pressing the hands in towards one another, stretching the wrists out after those downward dogs. We are going to be holding this for a little while, so I hope you're not finding this too tricky. You're going to feel the sensation in your hips. It's one of those postures. Now, hold this posture here. Also, what I want you to think about is not rolling the shoulders forward and curving the spine. We're trying to extend through the crown of the head and push those shoulders back. Really tricky, but trying to keep some length in the spine here rather than everything crumpling forward. Deep breaths, hold it here. Not going to kill you. Don't think a squat's ever killed anyone. If it's hurting your knees, obviously come out, otherwise you stay here, have a good time. All right, good for the ankles as well. I might just do an hour class one time of seeing if we can hold squat, like a tap out, like a WWE match. A few more breaths, doing really well. Hold it here. And then as you inhale, press into the feet, come up to standing. All right, lovely. Keep the feet where they are because as you exhale, we're coming back down into the squat. Yes, we are. Right, back down into a little squat. Hands in prayer. Okay, so now we're in our squat. We're going to bring a little twist into this. So I want you to listen to me because I don't know if the screen is flipping. So just listen to my rights and lefts. So what I want you to do is I want you to put your right hand on the floor. Okay, just to the side of the mat, but with your right arm in front of your right leg. And then as you inhale, reach the left arm up diagonally towards the ceiling. Yes, just like what I'm doing. So reach the left arm up, sinking the hips down, and you can actually use the right arm against the right leg to help you twist it. Deep, slow breaths. You're doing amazing. I know this is quite intense. Holding it here. A few more moments. Fingertips lift. And then exhale, left hand down in front of the left knee, and then as you inhale, right arm up. So taking that twist into the other side. Reach right fingertips up, press left arm against left knee to help you open the chest up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, bring that hand down, hands back into prayer. We're coming up, inhale, push, lift, feel the work, and then release. Whew. Should be feeling it right about here. Good, it's a very good posture. So at least see if you can hang out in a posture like that for a minute or so every day, and you'll be amazed at how open your hips start to come. So the next couple of things we're going to do a forward fold, and we're going to do some stuff for the QLs. So if the QLs get tight, that is a real sort of culprit for back pain. So the QLs are deep core muscles at the back surrounding the lumbar spine. So we're going to do a couple of side stretches as well. So first thing, forward fold. So if you have a very sensitive back, generous bend in the knees, feet hip width apart, hands to hips. As you inhale, lift chest up, look up, and then exhale, fold. Alright, so bend the knees if you need to. You can always take the hands to the thighs and stop here if you need some support. Otherwise, you're taking your elbows. Now, before we fold, inhale, look forward, lengthen again. Find some room, almost like you're going to topple over here. And then exhale, hand, ragdoll, floppy upper body. Shoulders just falling towards the floor, so shoulders start to hug the ears, neck heavy. And then, instead of, what we want to try and do here is bring the weight forward into the toes, so we're not sinking back into the heels. Eventually closing the gap between the belly and the thighs, and while this is a hamstring and calf stretch, it's also a good stretch for the back. Some people like to find some movement, so feel free to sway from side to side if you want to do that. Otherwise, just holding it here for a couple more breaths. It's quite hard to talk upside down. Okay, and then as you inhale, look forward, lovely. Exhale, hands to hips, strengthen the legs as you inhale, push yourself up. And then exhale, step your feet together. Just rearrange the pants. So, next thing we're going to do is a side stretch, and then we're going to do Trikonasana. So, feet hip width apart and parallel. Hands to hips. Inhale, just like before, lift, find some room. And then exhale, right fingertips are going to travel down right leg. Now, you can leave this left arm chilling. I like to take the left hand to the hip because it tells me if my hips have swung out of sync. We want to imagine we're doing this up against a wall, so there's no twist here. You can look forward. Again, I prefer to look up towards the ceiling. Up to you. But either way, we're just seeing if we can keep left foot light. So don't let the whole body just collapse over to the right hand side. Press down through that left foot. Still want some control in this posture. Holding it here. Don't worry if the right fingertips aren't down by the knee. Just as long as you're feeling that really intense sort of side stretch in the left hand side. And you're more than welcome to stay here or to exaggerate this twist. You're going to inhale, left arm up and over your ear. Oof. And then try and avoid just collapsing into the posture. So we have some integrity in the posture. Now your left hand is really strong. You're going to feel this stretch right from the left hip. Press down through the left foot. A few more breaths. Okay, then the left hand down and very slowly. This is going to hurt. Stand up. Oh God, all right. So it's a good explanation. So very intense side stretch. We don't do a lot of side stretches, so these will feel a bit gnarly. So feet hip width apart and parallel. Let's do the other side. So you're going to take the left fingertips now to the leg. You inhale, lift, and exhale, let those left fingertips travel down. Again, up to you. I like to have right hand to hip and look up. Controlled movement, so no forward folds, back bends or twists. Imagining we're side stretching against a wall. Keeping the right foot grounded so we're not just flopping over towards the left. Keeping the breath steady, and then if you choose, inhale, right arm up and over your ear and lengthen that line. Strong right arms. Side stretches make me emotional. I think it's because they're so tight. Doing a great job. Lovely. And then right hand down. And then very slowly, left fingertips up. life story with Ashleigh, right? Give your legs a shake. Great, so you're gonna feel it here. So important to do these stretches as well for the QLs. So now we're gonna be doing Trikonasana triangle pose. We'll do it together. So feet together at the front of your mat. I want you to take a step back with your right foot. Yes. So your right foot is facing the short side of your mat now. And your left foot is either at 90 degrees or it's turned in slightly. So we don't want the left foot turning out, so turning in. Legs are gonna stay straight as possible. And we're gonna take the arms wide. So from here, what I want you to do is reach towards the right. Let the left hip float forward. So you can either take hold of the right shin or the right big toe first, 2 fingers and thumbs, up to you. Now once you're here, what we're going to do is we're going to raise the left arm up and we're going to look up. Okay, then from here you can start to draw the left hip down and back towards the left foot. So quite a complicated posture, but really good for the hips, the hamstrings, the QLs. So just like in those all 4 twists, I want you to reach left fingertips up so the chest isn't facing down. There's a real element of lightness to this posture. If your hand's on the shin, doesn't matter, same thing. Keep reaching up, find some lightness. Draw that left hip back towards the left foot. A few more breaths here, doing amazing. I know you're doing amazing. Okay, and then exhale, look down. Inhale, come up. Make whatever noises you want, I can't hear. And then change sides. So left foot out, right foot in. Stretch to the left, same thing. Let the right hip float forward so you can take big toe or shin. And then from here, your right arm is extending up, you're looking up, and then you can draw that right hip down towards the right foot. Chest opening, legs straight, or as straight as you can get them. Breath steady. And then exhale, look down. Inhale, come up, arms wide. And then exhale, step to the front of your mat. Whew, all right, doing very well. Have a drink if you want a drink. A couple more postures are going to be hip openers. We're going to come through a sun salutation into pigeon. Love a pigeon. So if you've not done pigeon before, the only thing you want to be mindful of is your knees. I'll go through it. So if you don't want to do the sun salutation, if your back is super sore, just come and wait for us on the floor. Otherwise, legs together at the front of your mat. As you inhale, swooping the arms up, looking up. Exhale, fold, hands to floor, drop the head. So a little forward fold here. Then inhale, look forward, lengthen. Exhale, back to plank. And then we're lowering down to a very low press up or the floor. Okay, inhale, the back bend, feel that strength in the back, what we done earlier. And then exhale, downward dog. Hold your downward dog just for a second. Now we're going to come into pigeon. So listen to my instructions carefully if you've not done it before. So as you inhale, raise your right leg up, doesn't have to be too high. And then as you exhale, we're going to draw the right knee to the right elbow, and the right foot is going to come to the left wrist. Then we're laying the right shin down on the mat, and then scooching the left knee back, all right? So, pigeon pose. Be careful of that right knee. So your pigeon might look a bit more like this. That's okay. As long as there's no pain in the right knee, what we're trying to do is feel a big stretch in your right glute. So move around until you find that right glute stretch. So from front on, if you're a bit confused still, I haven't got the room, but the leg looks something like this. Lovely. Now to make the posture a little bit more gentle, you can bring the right heel closer to the left hip. You can have the right butt cheek off the floor and just stay on your hands for a bit of support. Over time, we're trying to get that right shin a bit more parallel, and then draw your left hip down to the mat, okay? So this is the effort of the posture, getting the left hip down as well. Staying upright is fine. Or you can exhale, fold, laying the body over that right calf. Okay, so that might have sounded a bit complicated if you haven't done it, but what we're going for is a huge stretch in your right glute. Any discomfort in the knee, either bring the right heel a bit closer to the left hip or come out the posture. Okay, so another fabulous posture for your hip. Another posture where we don't want to be engaging any muscles that don't need to be engaged. So shoulders are relaxed, jaw is relaxed, glutes are relaxed. And breath is steady. We are going to be holding this, okay, for 10. Just notice what's happening in the body. 9, 8. You can always come out the posture at any point you need to. 7. If you're working a bit more deeply, keep drawing that leg. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So if you fold in, we're going to come up onto straight arms. This bit's fun. Tuck the back toes, straighten the left leg, and then push into the hands, pick your leg up, back into downward dog. Woo! Take a moment. You can pedal it out if you want. So you should have definitely, hopefully felt that in your right glute, right hip. And then let's change up sides. Just be mindful that one side's probably going to be tighter. So as you inhale, left leg up, and then exhale, left knee to left elbow, left foot to right wrist. Lay the shin down, scooch right leg back. So again, if you can't get the leg totally down, no worries, it might look a bit more like this. Just keep the hands on the floor for support and then wiggle about till you feel that stretch in the left glute. Be mindful of left knee. Okay? If you're working a bit deeper, I want you to see if you can pull your right hip down. And then you can stay upright, or you can just start to fold. But we've got some time in this, so don't need to fold straight away. Okay, noticing the differences between the sides. So one side is likely to feel a lot different than the other. That's okay. Okay, slow, steady breaths. We're going to be holding this for 10. So relaxing any muscles we don't need to be using. 9, letting the body just sink down. 8, always being mindful of the left knee in this posture. 7, 6. Some people could fall asleep in this, other people hate it. 5. The real Marmite posture. 4, 3, doing very well, nearly there. 2, and 1. All right, if you folded, straight arms. Here's the fun part. We're going to tuck the back foot, push into the hands, pick that left leg up, take it back to downward dog, pedal it out. All right, so definitely some leftover sensation in the hip for me. So pedaling it out can sometimes feel quite nice. Okay, and then as you exhale from here, we're either going to come down onto our knees, or if you're practicing your jump throughs, go ahead and practice those. And then make your way into seated. All right, how are we doing? Okay, so just a couple more things. We're going to just work with a little twist, and then we'll do another little hip opener, and then we're pretty much done. So if you want to take your legs straight out in front of you, we are just going to draw the right foot in towards the body, okay? So left leg straight, right foot in, right thigh in towards the tummy. And then just hold on to the right leg with the left hand and then place your right hand behind you. Okay, hug the leg in towards the body, twist the chest open to the right, and then look back over that right shoulder. So this is a modification on a posture called Marichyasana. A slightly gentler version. It's such a lovely twist. So we've got the right hand on the floor to support us, so we can press into that hand to help keep the back straight. The left leg's just extended. You don't have to be super strong in that left foot. And then really sort of hugging the right leg in towards the body and opening the chest up as much as possible. Okay, nice, slow, steady breaths, doing amazing. Okay, and then exhale, look back to center, or change sides, so straighten the right leg. Same thing, bring the left thigh in towards the body. And then we are going to be hugging the left thigh with the right arm, twisting the chest open to the left, and then placing the left hand on the floor behind you, looking back over that left shoulder. Using the left hand on the floor to support us. And then hopefully this feels quite nice. You know, it might be quite hard to bring the foot up towards the body, but just do your best here. Okay, and then as you exhale, look forward. And then release the legs, give the legs a shake, and we're going to come onto our backs now and do a similar sort of thing. So just hug your knees into your chest to begin with. So it should feel quite nice being back down. Hopefully you're starting to feel the back hopefully the back is a little bit less sensitive now we've done all these postures. A little bit less tight. Okay, and then take both feet to the floor. So just extend your left leg down the mat. And then, very similar to what we were sort of just doing then, we're going to take hold of the right shin and just gently draw the right thigh back in towards the tummy. So this is exactly the same posture, except this time we're lying down. Nice, slow breaths. That left leg can just be relaxed. There's no need to be strong in the left leg. But we are trying to keep the chest broad. Gently guiding the right thigh back towards the tummy. And again, hip flexors can be a real contributor to sore back. So this is a good way to sort of stretch into that area as well as the groin. Any discomfort in the right knee, you can just take the back of the right thigh instead. Sometimes that can be a better option. Okay, a couple more breaths here. And then we're going to be taking this into a twist. So keep hold of the right shin with the left hand. Extend your right arm out to the side. So this is quite a deep stretch, so just chill with it. Inhale, then exhale, guide the right leg over towards the left. So now your right butt cheek is likely to pick up off the floor. The right knee doesn't have to be anywhere near the floor, it's just coming over towards the left. Turn and look over your right shoulder, keep that right shoulder down. Again, one of the deeper sort of twists we can do, you might feel this in your right hip, right glute, lower back. You might notice that you can twist a little bit deeper than you could at the beginning when we done the beginning line twists. Okay, and then inhale, slowly take it back to center. Same thing, other side. So straighten right leg, bring left thigh in towards body, hold the left shin. We'll start by just squeezing the left thigh up towards the belly. Right leg's relaxed, noticing how this side feels compared to the other. Keeping the chest broad. And then taking it into a twist, so holding left shin with right hand, left arm out to the side, just big inhale here, then exhale gently. Ease left leg over towards the right. So left sit bone will lift. Turn and look over the left shoulder if that's appropriate for your neck. And then inhale back to center. Right, take both feet down the mat. Up to you how you want to finish. You can finish in Shavasana with the legs straight down the mat. You can have the knees bent, or you can finish how we started in that reclined bound angle position with the feet together and the knees falling out sideways. Whatever's comfortable, either way, hands either side of the body, palms up. And just take a few deeper breaths. You might want to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth if you're at home. You sigh it out. Some people like to do that. Or you can just let the breath come back to normal. So always finishing with a moment of stillness, letting the body digest all the postures we put it through. Letting the heart rate come back to normal. And taking a moment to tune in and see how the body feels after all that. So even if you experienced some pain, obviously, not a good thing, you want to back away from it, but what position did you experience the pain in? What movement caused the pain? So if we can start to notice these things as we practice, we're going to be able to, figure out what's going on with our backs. Figure out what's causing that pain, and hopefully we can put some remedies in place to prevent it. Okay, so you are more than welcome to stay in Shavasana as long as you want. Otherwise, we're going to come out of it now. Bring your knees together if they're apart. And everyone, cat stretch, point your toes, arms overhead, lengthen. And then one last time, hug your knees into your chest, rock from side to side, make circles. And then when you're ready, you can just make your way up into seated. All right, thank you for joining me, if you joined me, and come back to this video whenever you want. If you do get a tight back, it's a good one to repeat. It'll be up all week, and definitely keep doing those twists and the cat-cows and things. They're just great movements for tight backs. So I hope you have a lovely day, and check out my timetable because I've got some more classes throughout the week. And yes, so have a nice week, and I will see you tomorrow for Ashtanga intro to standing posture. So we're going to pick up the pace a little bit, break it down. So hopefully see you then, and bye.